What if I told you that a simple 10-minute walk after dinner might protect your heart more effectively than a hard 5 a.m. run on an empty stomach? Most people believe the earlier and harder you train, the better. Sweat more, run faster, push harder. But what if timing, not intensity, is what actually determines metabolic protection? Because inside your body, right after you eat, a silent process begins. One that can stiffen your arteries, damage blood vessels, and increase long-term cardiovascular risk. And here's the powerful part. You can interrupt that process with something as simple as walking. Let's break down the science. After you eat, especially carbohydrates, your blood glucose rises. This is normal. But what many people don't realize is this. Repeated high post-meal glucose spikes are strongly associated with endothelial dysfunction, arterial stiffness, and increased oxidative stress. Research published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology has shown that postprandial glucose spikes are an independent risk factor for heart disease, even in people without diabetes. Here's something shocking. Some studies suggest that post-meal glucose levels may predict cardiovascular risk more strongly than fasting glucose levels. That means what happens after you eat might matter more than what happens overnight. When blood sugar spikes rapidly, insulin surges and inflammatory markers increase. This can temporarily impair the inner lining of blood vessels, known as the endothelium. The endothelium controls vessel dilation, blood pressure regulation, and clotting balance. Repeated spikes over time contribute to arterial stiffness. And here's the crucial point. This damage happens silently. You don't feel it. Now here's where it gets powerful. When you walk after eating, your skeletal muscles begin contracting. Muscle contractions activate glucose transporters, specifically GLUT4, which allow muscles to absorb glucose directly from the bloodstream. And here's the key. This process can occur independently of insulin. That means walking immediately lowers blood sugar by using muscles as a glucose sink. Studies show that even 10-15 minutes of light walking after a meal can reduce post-meal glucose spikes by 20 to 30%, improve insulin sensitivity, and lower oxidative stress. You're clearing the bloodstream at the exact moment the sugar is rising. That's strategic timing. Now let's talk about fasted morning runs. Exercise is good, but context matters. In the early morning, cortisol levels are naturally higher. High-intensity training in a fasted state increases stress hormone output and sympathetic nervous system activation. For some people, especially those already stressed, this can elevate blood pressure, increase inflammation, and reduce recovery capacity. Fasted cardio is not harmful for everyone, but it does not address the biggest metabolic stressor of the day, post-meal glucose spikes. A study published in Diabetologia found that walking for just 10 minutes after each meal was more effective for blood sugar control than one continuous 30-minute walk. Timing beat duration. That means 3 10-minute walks after meals may outperform one 30-minute workout in terms of metabolic control. Small strategic movement beats intense untimed movement. When glucose spikes are reduced, endothelial function improves, inflammation decreases, and insulin levels stabilize. Your heart prefers stability, not dramatic spikes. Post-meal walking smooths the curve. This isn't about abandoning running. Cardiovascular fitness is important. But if your goal is metabolic health and arterial protection, post-meal walking is one of the most underused tools available. You don't need equipment, you don't need intensity, you need timing. The most dangerous moments for your arteries may not be when you're resting, they may be right after you eat. The solution is simple. Walk. At Care and Cure, we don't chase intensity, we optimize biology. And sometimes, the most powerful heart protection strategy is simply standing up after dinner.